Good morning, Crossbridge family. It is time for your SOAP update today, and it's going to look a little bit different. This week, you are diving into Ephesians for the first time in 3 weeks. For the next 3 weeks, we will be reading the letter to the church in Ephesus over and over and over. And the purpose of this is we're going to learn the discipline of study this week, what it means to really dive into a book and understand it. So instead of just coming to you with the chapter of the day, I'm going to break it up into chapters 1 and 2. Next week will be 2 and 3. And in 2 weeks will be, this week will be 1 and 2. Next week will be 3 and 4, and the week after that will be 5 and 6. And so this week, as you hit chapters 1 and 2, what you have to understand in the context of this letter is that the author, Paul, when he's writing to this church, has something very specific in mind. And if you look into this letter, there's something I want you to pay attention to. And normally I'm going to push you towards the teaching and the context and all these things. That is very important, but we know that there are some divisions in this church, actually some pretty substantial racial divisions in this church. And Paul begins to push on the church saying, you have got to understand that your color, your context, and your culture make no difference. You are totally in the family of God. You need to be one body working together, and it has nothing to do about what you've done in your life. It has everything to do about what Christ has done for you collectively as a people. And so what I'd love for you to do in chapters 1 and 2 is begin to go through and look for the pronouns this week, specifically in 1 and 2. But if you want to take the whole chapter, do it. I would love for you, grab a pen, grab a pencil, and begin, or a colored pencil, and highlight all of the plural pronouns, specifically the words like us, or we, or our. Paul is doing his best to help this church understand that we are all in this together. Sometimes it's really easy to plow through a book and say, check, check, check. But this week, would you look for the pronouns that he mentions and see how often he's trying to draw them back to the idea that you are not walking through your faith alone. You have to be with other people in order to live out your faith in Jesus Christ. This is the plan. At the right time, in chapter 1, verse 10, at the right time, he will bring everything together under the authority of Christ, everything in heaven and everything on earth. Separation, division, these are not parts of God's plan. Unity, reconciliation, togetherness, this is at the heart of God. Where do you find yourself today? In a place of I and me, or a place of us and we? Crossbridge, let's look and love like Jesus by inviting all the people we can into this relationship. We do this together. I love you. I miss you. And I cannot wait to see you this week.